So obviously you've got all sorts of things with health and safety, fire alarm systems and everything else. All of that's got to be in place. Usually with family lets, maybe 30, 40k in. Well, around here, then I probably wouldn't be doing it around here. But yeah. But I'm just talking to like, you've got to do some work on it. You've got to bring things in. Yeah. I wasn't. So I haven't given you deliberately I haven't given you a purchase price. I don't do HMOs. Done them in the past. I don't do them anymore. I get a better return on family lets in terms of what I wanted to do for my goals. So, well, you decide. But I'm just sharing it with you. I'd rather get a better return on a family let for a lot less hassle than I would for doing an HMO with all the maintenance, the legal aspects, and everything else that come with it. Your choice. You decide. Your goals. So that's house of multiple occupancy. And then the other one I want to kind of jump on a little bit is rent to rent. Now, rent to rent. What I've noticed with property investing is there tends to be flavour of the year. So one year you'll see a lot about options, the next year you'll see a lot about HMOs, the year after that, and certainly over the last few years, you see a lot more about rent to rent. And I've certainly received a lot more questions about rent to rent than I have 5 years ago, for example, in the last couple of years. So rent to rent is attractive because you could probably get into rent to rent type deals for about 5,000. That's what people tend to look at, the lower cost of entry as a deal. Now rent to rent requires, first of all, that you find a tired landlord. Someone who's sick of the hassle of sorting out tenants, rents, and everything else. How many of those do you think there are? Quite a few, thousands of them. And what has happened oftentimes is someone is kind of what you tend to find is people who run a business of some sort, they've made good money in their business, they're like, well, where do I put my money? So they're kind of like, well, I'll just put it into property. So as they've gone along, their primary focus has been their business, and they've just put money into property as a way of making the money work a little harder, and they're just focused on equity growth. They're not necessarily thinking about cash flow. So if it's breaking even or it's made a little bit of cash, they're happy. They're not really professional property investors. They're just going on. And then, of course, they're getting older. So it gets to a point where this starts to become more hassle. The properties now need some maintenance. Might need a refurb, might need new carpets, new kitchen, new bathroom. It's all starting to become a little bit too much. Then they've got issues with void periods and tenants, and now it's just a pain in the backside. So they're kind of getting sick of looking after the damn thing. So you come along and you say to them, I'll guarantee your rent. What are they going to say? Thank you very much. So you can structure this. You might say, well, I'll guarantee it for a year. You might take a contract for 5 years. But the reason you're doing it is, one, you're negotiating, obviously you're going to fix a fee that you're going to pay them on each month. But you're looking at it through the eyes of, I can increase the rental value of this property. So maybe you're doing some of the work. So simple refurb work, 5k, that's fine. Cosmetic stuff, maybe a new kitchen, maybe a new bathroom, depending on the nature of the property. So you're into it, and now you can collect more rent. So you're collecting rent, and obviously then paying the tired landlord, and the difference between the two is your profit. So done correctly, you could see, for example, £500 a month out of a property, cash flow, particularly if you were turning it into some sort of, almost a HMO type thing. £500 a month, £6,000 a year, it's all right. You got kind of 5 of those, and that's kind of £30,000 a year. Kind of nice. But I don't do it.
What sort of contract is it between the two? Is it like a lease contract or?
Yeah, you got a lease, so obviously what you're doing is you're controlling the asset. So your contract gives you control of the asset for a set period of time. Not dissimilar to some option contract. So obviously there's a level of trust between you as well. But most people who get into rent get into it, why? Because of the very little, small money down. And what's their first primary goal? Cash flow, and more importantly, they're looking to save money. So they're collecting money to do what? To buy their own property. Because they don't own this. They control it for a period of time, they don't own it. So most of the people getting into rent are attracted by this, but what they want is to get to a place where they've got money to do their own family-let type deals. So I don't do this because it would be better to kind of go, well, if you're doing that just to do family-let, I'd rather teach you how to be your own bank. I'd rather teach you how to do joint ventures than you go straight to family-let and bypass that as a stepping stone. Does that make sense? Yeah.
As an investor, it's really good for you then, isn't it? But you got guaranteed rent. They are investing.
Oh, from
money
your point of view, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
investing money in your property.
Yeah,
It's going up in
yeah,
value
it's
as
good
well.
for you, and you're going to get it back. Yeah, yeah, you still own it from that perspective.
Yeah.
But the people that have been attracted by this, as I said, tend to be they want to save money up as a lump sum to then go and start building their own portfolio. So from my point of view, well, why bother? Why not just learn how to be your own bank, learn to joint venture, go straight to building your own portfolio?
Is
Makes more
this
sense.
being done so that the property is returned in the same condition that was rented out in, like in commercial or not?
That comes down to whatever you put in the contract, but you're not going to return it in a worse condition, but more often than not, it ends up being returned in a better condition.
You spend some money on it.
You're going to spend money on it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So that's what starts with that. Options. We won't go into detail, but there are fundamentally 8 different option strategies. So even options as a strategy is actually multiple strategies. Options are another way of controlling the asset without owning the asset. Anybody in commercial property? Commercial property, there's a lot more options, has been for many, many years in the UK. In the UK itself, residential-wise, it's only the last, well, I know the guy who brought options from the States to the UK, so it's only the last 12 years that we've seen options on residential property. I've said about 8 different strategies within that. If you want to dive deeper into it, you can. If you want to go to the States, because of the nature of their laws and how mortgages work and everything else works in the States and their foreclosure laws, there's about 16 different strategies on options in the States that we don't have access to. And then holiday lets a little bit different type of property. One, area matters. 2 key things about holiday lets, what would they be? Yeah, it can be seasonal.
Expenses are included.
Expenses are included, but the area, well, first of all, it's a holiday let. How long is it let for, typically? A couple of days, maybe, a weekend, maybe a couple of weeks if it's in a summertime somewhere. What do you do the rest of the time? Yeah, you need somebody to rent it during the week. Who tends to rent it during the week? Contractors. So you need somewhere that both satisfies the holiday aspect and during the week satisfies, and we've got contractors here who will take it during the week. They just want somewhere to dump their head during the week, and then at the weekend they're off again. So then you've got the holiday people moving in. So if you've got contractors during the week, different tenants at the weekend, you've got a turnaround. You've got a turnaround in terms of people in and out, but you've also got a turnaround in terms of maintenance, cleaning, and everything else. Does that make sense? So it's a lot of work, a lot of work. You've got to enjoy it. It's like the little touches for the holiday makers, you know, things like putting flowers in and this sort of stuff. Those little touches all suddenly come into play. So it is a lot of work.
The oil profit.
Again, run the numbers. There's no black and white, this is higher profit than this. There's run the numbers, does it work? But more importantly, what's your goal? The goal matters. The strategy is to get you to the goal. So don't be attached to a strategy, be attached to a goal. All right. So that kind of takes us there. Now, if I was to offer someone the opportunity to be mentored by Aaron for a year, who'd like that opportunity? Actually, I'm going to pick, actually stand up if you're interested, because I'm going to pick somebody. I need to decide how I'm going to pick one. First of all, let's kind of deselect, because that's how we do property. First of all, there will be an investment on your part. So if that's something you're not interested in, again, you know, that's all cool with me, but take a seat. If you're still stood up, actually, please come to the front so I can get everybody together. Come to the front. Come and stand here. We've got plenty of space today. Come and have a stand at the front. You're going to need to see the screen, so we're going to ask all of you to kind of huddle up together. It's one of those London Tube experiences. All right, fantastic. Now, I'm going to show, in my opinion, what I'm going to show you is a great opportunity, a great offer. I'm going to offer this to one of you, so I need to decide how. So remind me again, who wants it? I think your hand went up fastest, so I'm going to go with Fraser. So Fraser, come and stand here for me for a second. Now, stay there, watch the screen. I'm going to make this offer. Fraser's then going to decide whether he wants it or not. If he doesn't want it, I'll come back and choose someone else. That makes sense? So pay attention to the offer, because obviously you need to decide whether you want it if I offer it again. So Fraser, please, take a look at the screen. Here's what we're going to do. So, I've already kind of outlined the whole 12-month mentorship program, so I'll just run through it again. So you've got the 3-day event, full immersion, roughly 12 hours a day, diving into the 10 key areas with Aaron. So we're going through it. The whole goal of this is to get you to a level 8, 9, and 10. You'll start developing that and building mental on the weekend. Of course, you've then got over the years to continue developing that as well. You get access to Aaron's team, tax teams, financial advisors, mortgage brokers. Mortgage brokers, as we've seen over the next few years, the shift, like I said before, when the government changed the laws with stamp duty, is there a solution? Yes, there is. So things are shifting. I had a chat with Aaron's mortgage broker back in October. Very switched on guy, most switched on guy I've seen in mortgage. He's an investor himself. So if he's an investor, does he have an interest in understanding mortgages for investing? Of course he does, absolutely. Brilliant guy. And we were chatting about using residential mortgages through personal or using mortgages through a company structure for building your investment. And so you will find out which is relevant to you moving forward as things change in the legal system. So brilliant, brilliant guy. He'll be there, he'll be talking to you and ask him any questions. So an expert team, change the game, everybody's there. Then, how to read the property market. Which areas are going up this year, which areas are going down this year? Which areas are going to go up next year, which areas are going to go down next year? You want to know that in advance, obviously it helps you make the decisions on where you're investing based on your strategy. Then, how to source property at discount. Genuine discount to the RICS valuation. Not made up discounts. How many made up discounts do you see? Thousands. Too many. You need to be able to evaluate it yourself. You'll learn how to do that. And then, of course, the big thing that I like, become your own bank. Learn how to join venture. Okay, so that's all that. So you're going to get all of that. So the property membership I mentioned before, normally 3991 as an incentive for today, 2991 as a bigger incentive to you, a bigger opportunity for you. That's just going to be 1594. Plus that, just to play the back. Okay. Now that's you. Have you got someone else in your life, spouse, partner, someone else you want to bring? Okay. So bring the other person that's important to you with you, so you both focus on the same goals. So bring them with you. Now normally, of course, they would have another ticket, they're taking up a space, that would be 3991, but for this offer, that's free. So you can bring somebody else with you. You got any teenage children? Or maybe a little bit older? No. Anybody else's? Like if you want to bring a third, it is more about a child, so we want to learn with you. Because it's a great time to learn. When's the best time to learn? When you're young. So bring a third with you, usually a teenager. But in fairness, back in October, we had someone who was 12. So, just below teenager, but they were very switched on, they did love it. So great time to learn, and more importantly, it's not just learning the skill, it's beginning to change the way they think. That'll have a bigger impact on the life of them, so I highly encourage you to find somebody and bring them with you. But again, normally they're taking up a space, so it's 3991, but again, that's free. Okay. So, you're getting the whole masterclass, and then this, obviously we put on these events so that we can encourage people to come and obviously make an impact. You go through the program, if you're as wowed by it as the majority of people are, then you can recommend this free day to people. If they come along and they decide to do the program, you get paid £750 as well for each of those. You get 20 of those. So potentially, there's £15,000 cash back to you. Why would the inside group make an offer like that? Because it costs money to put on this event. So if they can do it this way, then obviously they can benefit everybody at the same time. So that's why they do it. So that's their view as well, if you want to take part of that. So we've got the whole 3 tickets and we've got 50,000 back to you. I mentioned before, somebody's going to get this for free as well. So all of the online, 60 hours of material, all of the areas in depth with Aaron, who is Mr. Detail. So mindset strategy leverage, that's free. Part 2 with the property tools, that's free. Be your own banks, learning JVs in detail, you can do it over and over and over again. That's free. The manuals, processes, the checklist, how to do a presentation to a potential investor, all of that's included. That's all free. So the value of that on its own is 2288, but today you get that for free. So you get the whole 60 hours included. Okay, so just to recap, we've got everything we've said, then discounted properties. Now, the inside group, they buy on average just under £500 properties a year for their clients. So therefore they're sourcing huge numbers of properties. And they evaluate them based on the rules I'm going to show you this afternoon to determine if they're the right properties for their clients, and they have to be genuinely 15% or more below market. So there's ones they take for themselves, there's the rest which are still below market, which don't fit their strategy or don't suit their purposes. so they can hand those on. Now they do charge for that list, so getting a list of it saves you a little bit of challenge, like it's a good source of deals. So obviously deals all around the country, different types of strategies. You can then select the ones that are right for you.
There's no mandatory.
There's no mandatory, there's nothing like that. It's just a list of genuine deals, genuine below market properties. So you get all of that as well. So that's normally £100 a month, £200 a year. So you get that for a year as a service, and again, that's Then, at the end of your 12 months, so you've gone in, I know you've got some property already, but at the end of your 12 months, you've developed your portfolio, you're achieving certain goals, you're building some big momentum, you obviously begin to solve your tax issues as well. Would it be of value to then go and sit with Aaron for the day and look at the next step for you in terms of how you develop your portfolio? Now, mentioning with Aaron is £10,000. Because that's what he can charge, that's what people will pay, because that's what his time is worth. So, £10,000 mentoring at the end of your 12 months. Can I give away a £10,000 mentoring? Come on, let's have some fun. Can I? Go on. Yeah, go on. Of course I can. All right, so you get that free as well, so personal mentoring with them. So you get all of that for 1591 plus VAT. So total value of mentorship opportunity, just over £40,000. But of course for you, it's just 1591 plus VAT. Now, take a couple of moments to decide whether this is right for you or not. While you're thinking, as I said, I come back to you, you decide whether this is right for you. If Fraser doesn't want it, obviously I'm going to offer it back over here. Okay? So you make a decision if you want it. For sure, I totally agree with you, but fantastic. Go grab it. Stay there a minute. If you go and have a chat with Lara, get this all sorted out. I'll see you on the course. Thanks. Now, he's taken it. I'm here to impact. I didn't share this before, but my mission is to impact 1 million people over the next 10 years in terms of their financial destiny. So if I was to offer another one of those, who'd like it? David? Oh, that makes it easier, doesn't it? David, would you like to do this? All right, go and have a chat with Lara, get this started. Rest of you don't want it? The funds are not there, okay, so then you know what your first goal is. Everybody else, you're in a similar position? All right, that's fine. Take a seat then. Stay for the afternoon, because you're going to learn more from today.
Somebody just keep the ball on the end.
Education, best asset. All right, thanks for that. So that gets us started. So they're going to be sorting those people out at the back. This afternoon, we're going to go deeper into the rules around family-led property. So there's two purposes to this. One is I want to share the rules of family-led property with you, so you can understand how to deselect property. But more importantly, whatever strategy you've chosen, there has to be a set of rules for that strategy. Like one of the unique things about this program is that you attend the 3 days, you've got 12 months mentoring. What there isn't, and I've been on 3 different property education programs over the last 15 years. And what tends to happen is, the first 2 I went on, you go on and there's 3 days, but what do they do on the 3 days? They give you some knowledge, what else do they do? They sell another course, which tends to be like anything from £18,000 to £25,000 of mentoring. That doesn't happen on this course. There is no upsell to any other mentoring because you've already got it. Everything is included in the 3 days and the 12 months on the online education. It's all there, there is nothing else. That's everything. That's what's great about it. But understand as well, whatever strategy you choose, there has to be rules for it.
Okay, so what I can do is...
What has shocked me in the last 6 months, I've seen this more noticeably, is people who've come to an event like this, and I've had a couple of people come up to me in the breaks who've already bought a course from somebody else, I'm not going to name them, but they bought from somebody else, they've spent £11,000 on a program, gone along to the first event, live event they had to attend, and there's an upsell to something else. But they've already spent £11,000, why should there be an upsell to something else? And worse, when I said, so what strategy are they covering? They'll give me a strategy, and I say, so what are the rules for that strategy they're giving you? They didn't give me any rules. That's not a strategy. There has to be a set of rules behind it to make it work. So even if family-led's not going to be your strategy, understand the importance of having those rules. Does that make sense, yes or no? So I'll be covering that after the break, after lunch. And then the final thing we do at the end of the day, we'll touch on tax, 2 key principles, 15 minutes max on tax, because I'm not a specialist, that's not my area. But 2 principles that will make you tax effective. And then the final part, I'll show you how professional investors take money out of their portfolio ongoing, tax efficiently for life. All right? So go grab some lunch. Has it been of value so far? Cool. And I'll see you after the break. So let's take it is now, it's almost going up to 1:45. So let's say we come back at 1:45, so just over an hour for lunch. Is that okay? All right, I'll see you in about an hour. For me, yeah, I probably don't have
You have 14. Ah, right, no, yeah.
That's the way it goes. Sorry? Yeah. Yes, you know,
I've already read the book.
Oh, you can have another one, it's fine, take it with you, give it to somebody else.
do that.
Oh, fabulous, thank you. So if you could just take that into your request to be involved in the
So that's not just immigration, that's driven by massively as well. So that's
I just need your signature at the bottom of that. It's just in case that we have it, or if you didn't have your card or anything like that. So we don't have all the details. Anything else? So that's your card and your receipt.
So as I say,
Thank you very much.
Yes, yeah, we'll lock the I am. They're all thereabouts, yeah, someone has to, they're not down for a while. So we're out a lot. They would go London quite regularly, Southampton, Reading, Bristol, so we're back to the north.
Good man.
Are you? You as well?
That's a proper football team. I tell you, that could be the Premier next year, mate.
It should be.
Yeah. Don't focus on it too much. You do. You'll slip up.
Oh, I don't know.
Norwich managed to as well, so you'll still stay. Yeah. So play a lot of rugby actually. I played for Yorkshire for a while. Yeah, life takes over a little bit. It'd be nice to play rugby all day.
Quick question.
Online.
Oh,
So you can just do it at your own pace.